And one recent survey showed more than 50% of grandparents with grandchildren who are under the age of 18 will help look after them this summer. And a third will be helping out more than one day a week. But of course, it costs them money to feed and entertain the children. Sometimes it's absolutely exhausting. Sometimes you have to travel far to do this childcare. So do you think grandparents have a duty to do this with the cost of childcare sky high and parents who have to work? Or do you feel by the time you get to be a grandparent, you should be free to enjoy your freedom because you've brought up your own children, you've often worked very hard, you're often still at work, and I'm a grandma of 4, here I am working, although it's really a pleasure to be here, which I thoroughly enjoy. But I did have my 2 elder grandchildren last night, Ziki and Nerily. We went to see One Day, which is the Band-Aid musical, you know, the one about Band-Aid. They were, honestly, I could hardly watch the stage. I was just looking at their faces the whole way through. They were enthralled. They were jumping up. Sometimes they clapped the speaking, not just the singing. That's how much they loved it. And I was loving it, loving them. Not a cheap evening out, but my gosh, what a pleasure. But obviously I'm not looking after them now because I'm here. So I'm a fat lot of use, really, because I'm always at work. I'm never really around to do much more than the really fun stuff. And do I feel bad about that? Sort of a little bit, but also not really. It's very complicated, isn't it? Let's go to Amanda, who's on the line in Essex. Tell me, Amanda, how you feel about it.
Well, I looked after my grandchildren from the age of 3 to 18 months.
Right.
Because my daughter was so desperate. She was desperate to make a living for herself, bless her heart.
Yeah.
She was a good girl and she's a good mother. And I looked after them till they were 17, 16. I went to school with them every day. And I went to school and I looked after them day in and day out. I've got a huge garden, huge house, and I did the garden myself. I did everything, but I wouldn't charge a penny for their up. I loved every minute. Now they're 37 and 35, and I wish I could turn the clocks back, do it all again. And I love what you're wearing.
You mean I long for that moment where you used to put your hand down and 2 little hands would take your hand, Amanda. Do you remember that? The best thing ever. The best thing ever. So, Amanda, it must have been exhausting. You were full-time, full-on childcare.
It wasn't because I was fit in those days. I've had a stroke now. I'm 82. I've had a stroke and I wish I could turn the clocks back and do it all again. I loved every minute of it. We would take them away for holidays. I loved it. I was really sorry when they finished.
Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? You're lovely. What a nice caller. What a lovely caller. And I bet you that they have such fond memories. And to you, to them, you're just one of the most vivid people in their whole lives, not just a grandma, but a real person actually kind of shaping the people that they came and turned out to be. We have the most expensive childcare in Europe in this country. And if your children are working, who's meant to look after the grandchildren in the summer? It really is. You're a working mum, Afua. It's really difficult.
It's really difficult. So difficult. It's not for the weak at all.
No.
I don't think grandparents have a duty to look after their grandchildren. They do it out of love, don't they? Which is wonderful. And my mum, when Naima was little, definitely was there to help out with her, and during the summer holidays also. And it's just so expensive, isn't it? Holiday clubs all months up, all the kit that you need, can you afford to go on holiday? All of it is really, really expensive. And some parents find that 6 weeks such a slog. So, no, I don't think grandparents have a duty, but to have them around is a real privilege. And people that do are so lucky.
And Albie, you were looked after by your grandma?
Yes, some of my fondest memories of childhood are the summers where my grandma and grandpa would come down from Manchester and look after me and my sisters, because my mum was a single mum. She had to go out and work. So they would come down and they'd sleep in the front room. And honestly, they are some of the best memories.
Okay, tell us one. What did you do with them? What was it like having them there?
So many things. We had like paddling pools out in the garden. I remember this one time, it was the middle of winter actually, and it was very icy outside, and we made my youngest sister, Adjua, we persuaded her to go and stand on our pond, which was covered in ice, and she fell into it, which was quite funny.
Oh, no, don't do
that at home. But Grandma was great. She handled that situation much better than Mum would have done. And I love my mother, but my grandma is my favourite person in the world. And she's still with us, 88 years old.
Music to my ears.
Elizabeth. She might be watching. Hello, Grandma. And that is because of that relationship that I built with her.
What was her name? Grandma
Elizabeth.
what?
Elizabeth. Grandma
Elizabeth. If you're watching, he's a lovely boy. You've done a fabulous job with him. Tell me about grandmas and looking after children. grandchildren or grandpas?
Yeah, so I agree. It's not a duty. When my boys, if they go on to have children, I know that I'm going to really desperately want to look after their children and not want anyone else to do it. And I've been lucky. My mum was always good, and my mother-in-law is also amazing. So, I was lucky that they wanted to do it. As you say, childcare is so expensive. So if you can help out, do, because, trying to forge your way in life is really tricky, and having children, women, I know men, but women especially are really find it tricky. So if you can do, but it's not your duty.
Right, let's go to Richard in Portsmouth. Hi, Richard. Oh, you're looking forward to becoming a grandparent. Hooray!
I am. My son's Anyway, yes. My grandmother brought me up. My parents divorced when I was really young, and my grandmother brought me up, and grandparents love them.
How do you feel about the fact that you're soon to become one? How does it make you feel?
Can't wait. Vanessa, I can't wait to be a granddad.
Honestly.
I'm 56. I'm the granddad very soon. Yes.
So exciting. Congratulations. I find that I can barely think of anything else, quite frankly. I pretend I'm presenting a television show, but really I can barely concentrate ever since they were born on anything else. It's the biggest deal ever, Richard. Huge.
I'm going to be so happy when he comes round here in his dirty nappies and look after, and I'll go, yes.
So we can tell you're going to be fully hands-on grandpa. Listen, when it happens, phone us so that we can congratulate you on the show.
I'll be a granddad, proper granddad.
Absolutely. Lots of love. Looking forward to hearing the good news. Let's go to Annie in West Yorkshire. Annie, you've got 5 grandchildren. Tell me how you feel about childcare.
I have very mixed feelings about it. My children are all grown up and they chose to have their children, and I don't understand why they would immediately think that they can come to grandma. I have things to do in my life. I'm 65 years old, and I'm not being mean about it, Vanessa. I'm certainly not.
No.
But I just think sometimes you have to plan ahead. If you can't look after your children, and I realise that 2 parents have to work and they have to be able to sustain a home these days,
Yes.
but I don't think the onus has to fall on grandparents.
Tell me lots of things, Annie, because I love this call because you're being so honest. And I know loads of people will be thinking what you're thinking, but they wouldn't dream of saying it. So I'm delighted that you phoned. So I need to know a couple of things. I'd like to know, number one, what are the things that you are busily doing? Just so we can get a picture of you and the sorts of things that you're doing in your life that you're busy doing.
Well, I still work, Vanessa. I work part-time.
Right.
And when I'm off, selfishly, I just want to have a bit of downtime for me.
Right. And my other question, Annie, is this. How are your children taking that news? I suppose they know you very well. Maybe they're not surprised. Or have they wished that you would step in a bit? And how do they react when you don't?
Oh, well, I've got 5 children, so various opinions that have been cast at me. And, sometimes I think they just think I'm terribly awful. But I don't want to have to pick the children up from nursery and, get glitter all over the floor and glue and be entertaining them all the time. I just don't.
So do you spend some time with them or not very much at all?
Yeah, I do spend time with them.
Yeah.
They come to me at least 2 afternoons a week.
Okay, well, that's doing your bit. I mean, don't you think that's doing a bit, Nicola?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure I'd let my children go there because she doesn't sound like she enjoys it, does she, Annie? I honestly, no, I can't understand it. What's wrong with glitter? I love a bit of glitter. You don't sound like you enjoyed it. I'm surprised you had 5 children.
I suppose having had 5 children, though, you have done your bit. Annie, when they're with you, do you enjoy it or do you find it, quite tough?
Say again?
When they're with you for the 2 afternoons, do you enjoy it or do you find it exhausting and quite tough and you're happy to give them back?
It's often, I enjoy it, but up to a point. I just don't want the mess involved. the constant entertainment, the constant thinking about, well, what are we going to be doing this afternoon? I feel like I'm a cross between a grandma and a clown. You know, constant entertainment on tap.
You're entertaining us, Annie.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
You are fabulous entertainment. I'd happily come and spend the afternoon with you, and I promise I wouldn't make any mess at all. I really wouldn't. I'd sweep it all up afterwards. Annie, you're amazing, honest, great, and she still has them 2 afternoons a week.
Yeah, that's good.
I think you're amazing and very, very honest. And look, she's brought up 5 children. You know, she doesn't have to be providing entertainment and sweeping up glitter. Let's go to Arman in West Sussex. Arman, what do you think of it all?
Oh, good afternoon.
Hi.
It's not a duty, it's a pleasure and a joy. It really is, because my nieces and nephew are now in their 30s, and the bonds that we have with them now was made then, all those years ago. And it's not gone, it's not broken, it's very strong. And it always will be, I know that.
What did you think of Annie, though, saying it's exhausting? She's, you know, she has to worry about what to do with them, then she has to clean up after them. I mean, it's a valid point, isn't it?
It is a valid point, it is. But then they're only that young for a minute of a lifetime, isn't it?
Yes, also true.
Really?
Also true. That is true. It is. It all goes very quickly. That bit, the bit with the glitter, is brief and fleeting.
And
when it's
back.
exactly
You
when
want
it's
that
gone, you
back.
miss the glitter terribly, don't you?
You know, big children, big problems. Isn't it? You know, give me the glitter.
Yeah, the bit
You
where
know,
they come
give me
back
the
and they show
glitter.
you a squiggle and they say it's you, Grandma. That doesn't last very long. It's absolutely true.